Hi, it's Deidre. Today we are going to dive back into the realm of spiritual TikTok. I appreciate your support, interaction, and of course, discuss things. I don't like people to, attack. Let's share information. If we can discuss things and be okay with having our own opinion, despite someone else having their own opinion, then we're solid. We'll be okay. So let's try to do that. I'd like to cultivate a space of being able to talk about these things. So without further ado, godly spiritual TikTok.
Do you ever run into those people that just seem to hate you for no apparent reason? I mean, you might not have did nothing to them physically, but for some reason, they just always mad at you. They might have a better title. They might be a boss. They might be a doctor. They might have more money than you. They might have a family, but they still seem to hate on you, even when it seems to the physical eye that you might be behind them. But in actuality, what's happening is that their soul is in a fight with your soul. They recognize that you're aligned with something higher than the mundane things that they're aligned with. They're only aligned and have power through their title. You have power through your spirit and your soul, and that's what they really fear, and they hope that you don't know that, because that's the only way that they can keep you down. But when you actually know that, then they have no power over you, because they stuck in the mundane while you floating on a higher ranking spiritually. Believe that.
That is so true. Been there. Totally been there. And I know we touched on this in the first video a little bit, where it was mentioned that it's important to know who you are and who you have behind you. Absolutely 100% what he's saying. Yeah, when people hate you and they don't even know you, it's because there's something in you that they likely envy. Subconsciously envy. I don't want to turn it into they just want to be me. No, I think there is a subconscious envy to some degree. In most cases, I don't like to generalize. And I think that regardless of who you are, you can also be affected by that type of feeling towards others. However, there are those people who will spot a weakness and exploit it if given the chance. If they see something in you that they know they don't have, they won't have, and there's that envy, there are those people who will find the weakness. They will go around the back door to your soul and try to bring you down just to feel better. Unfortunately, people like that exist. And that is why it is super important to understand who you are. If you walk around feeling like you are nobody and you are nothing and you have nothing good, you are so vulnerable. When you have to look to other people for validation or codependency, you are extremely vulnerable to stuff like this. And you make it so easy for those not good people to get in your back door and bring you down on a spiritual level, bring you down to their level on a spiritual level so that they can feel better. That's literally what they're doing. So if you are a person who does not have confidence, and I was there before, it's an ongoing journey. I don't want to call it a struggle, because I've committed. The journey is my reality now. It's not a struggle. It is a journey. If you are a person that still walks around and feels, inferior, or you don't really know who you are, or scared to share your voice out of fear of offending people, or, a fear of being heard, maybe, if it's you, I'm talking to you. Just know you can get on a journey of overcoming that. All you have to do is tell yourself, you know what? I am here. Everyone else is here and I'm here, and we're the same. See other people as individuals born to this planet trying to find a way out. Just realize you're no different. You're not that different from a lot of people here, and all the stuff that you feel worried or self-conscious about, tons of other people are also experiencing, and it's not that weird. You go outside with your zippers down. Oh, well, it's okay. It happens. You get home, you realize it's whatever. I did that thing that lots of people do. That's it. That's how I see it now. I don't feel embarrassment. So yeah, it is so important to go on the journey of knowing who you are. If you need a remedy against those toxic people, those people with narcissistic behaviors, people out to exploit you, if you constantly feel like you don't know who to trust, you must understand it is so important to trust yourself first. It is so important to build yourself up and partake in that journey of being able to take up space in this world, if that makes any sense. I'll leave it at that.
This for my people be working for real. Listen to me. Don't ever get strong armed. Ever, bro. You gotta know your power, bro. People don't know their value. That's why they get strong armed. That's why it's 99% of people doing the exact same thing and working and doing things they hate. They get satisfied with a day job that they hate just because they begin strong armed and they can't stick up and know their power. Do you not know what you can do? See, people be getting these jobs and it completely changes them. Now, I understand having to provide for your family, right? You having to provide for your family, got a house to pay, X, Y, and Z, friends to provide for. But listen to me, there's other jobs. There's money everywhere. There's other opportunities. If you're getting shallowed on, if you're getting bullied or any sense, getting strong on, don't take that. Say, no, I'm going to go elsewhere.
Yeah, I agree with what he's saying. And I don't like to generalize. He is very handsome. I don't like to generalize. I think we should also consider our gifts and our skills that we have. I feel that something that is kind of taken for granted in the world a little bit. I feel like we live in a society where we don't see what we're actually passionate about as a viable future or something, a foundation strong enough to build our future on. And I maybe in some cases, perhaps if we did that and started building that foundation at a younger age, we put in our 10,000 hours, we could succeed at actually living a life doing the things that we love, perhaps. Right now, I feel I am very lucky to be in a situation where I can do creative work. I do voiceover and I do fine art. And this is what I want to do. Like, this is going to be my future. I've had a few jobs over the years, and I can say without a doubt that I am much happier doing creative stuff in my own time, and my own rules, and my own mind, and my own ideas. That is my happy place. Isolating, but happily isolating. So, I don't know, if you have a skill or a talent or something that you actually kind of like to do, you like to bake in the background when you're not, waiting tables, maybe you can find a way to push that forward a little bit and, start making some pennies on the side. Who knows where it will end up? There's so much information out there. You can easily learn how to move in the direction of building something viable. And you're not too old. Don't even think for 1 second that you're too old or too young. None of that matters. All that matters is that you decide to pursue that journey. And it matters because it's a road to your happiness, your soul's freedom. As he mentioned, I think it's worth pursuing regardless. So, as someone who is actually also currently on that journey, I highly recommend it. There's a lot of self to be discovered if you give more of your time to yourself.
Find meaning in life. Now, it's very important to find some type of meaning in your life, because if you don't, you will never do anything meaningful or useful in this life. That truly challenge your mind and go beyond all the cycles and patterns that you play inside your mind. You should be able to take time alone to ask yourself, what's the meaning of life, or what's the meaning of my life in general? Our minds strive off of meaning, because if not, the brain will find something to attach itself to and occupy itself with, which is most likely just going to be distractions and things to keep you busy from the actual questions you've always had. Do this for so long, we forget to give ourselves a meaning in life. Most of the things that we attach ourselves to in this life isn't going to bring us to our true purpose. So if you really think about it, there's no meaning in doing it. Most people just do these things so they have no clue what they're actually doing. We should be doing things big instead of working a 9-to-5 job our whole life or just going to school for so many years. These are examples of things we do to keep ourselves busy. We never question why we actually do these things. We just do it because we feel like we have to. You got to do things that satisfy your soul and not the things that you're consumed into.
Yeah. That is so true. I strongly recommend a dopamine detox, especially at this day and age. I highly recommend it. And it's hard the first couple or 3 days or so, but as long as you're in the mindset of being okay with sitting with those feelings that you're feeling when you cut yourself off from the dopamine, like be it TikTok or video games or whatever it is that you do that you know is not leading you to where you want to be. Cut it off. Commit to the journey of self-exploration that will commence. Give yourself that time to have those thoughts. Feel the disconnect from whatever it is sucking your soul. Because the reason you're doing it is because what you've been spending your time on is not what your soul should be doing. So I recommend it. They call it dopamine detox. I call it, I would call it something much bigger than that. It's a whole spiritual reset, realignment. If it helps, make a list of the things that you want to do. Start your dopamine detox or realignment, spiritual realignment. Cut out the freaking doom scrolling and, whatever it is that you're doing that is not leading you there. Cut it out. Within reason. I mean, I'm not saying walk out on your job or anything, but I am saying cut those extra things out. If you don't feel motivated to do those things on your list just yet, it's okay. Just lay down. Be okay with the feeling of not having that thing that's been sucking your soul. That's part of the journey. And when I went through it, it's like I felt good. I felt the longing for this thing, but I also felt so good that I was finally on a journey of healing that addiction to something that's sucking my soul. I highly recommend that. And what you'll begin to see is that the joy for those things on that list after maybe like 3 days starts to come back a little bit. When you say, okay, let me just try doing one of these. The joy that you should be feeling at a healthy level for the things that actually bring your soul joy begins to return. And by like a week, it's just like, why was I spending so much time, doing this other thing when I had this food for my soul just sitting here waiting and it's propelling me forward and it's meaningful, Highly recommend trying that. If you have any questions about that, just ask. I'm actually at the tail end of one right now, so I think I'll be able to answer as best as I can based on my experience doing that. Frig. We're not bound to these devices. Like, if you think about it, 10 or so years ago, we weren't doing this. Like, we weren't doom scrolling for hours. Phones didn't do that. A little over 10 years ago. Phones didn't do that. I remember very clearly. It's just like, what was life like before that? So.
Also, y'all actually got more
my battery.
And this video is gonna be.
My battery is about to die. Sorry, that's why I keep looking up. I'd hate to be talking and it's not even recording again.
What's up, y'all? Actually got more money. And this video is gonna be about how your world crumbles all the way down and crashes all the way down before you reach a new level of enlightenment. Alright, so this download is coming straight from my own life experience. Most of my downloads come from straight life experience that I be experiencing in life, but this one comes from like literally the recent shit I just experienced, you feel what I'm saying? Like, I'm experiencing this download right now as I make this video. I'm going through what I'm finna say. But we all know that in this life we have to go through things, you feel what I'm saying? We all know about the process of transformation or the process of change or the process of being reborn, you feel what I'm saying? How they say something has to die off in order to be reborn. Like a phoenix rises from its ashes, you feel what I'm saying? You create a whole bunch of fire and then you were born from that fire that you created that burnt you down. So when you are reaching new echelons of enlightenment and when you also finna reach new echelons of activity in your environment, you finna go into new things, like you might finna get a new house or you might finna move to a new city, you feel what I'm saying? But there's stuff that happens before that pushes you to go do that other shit, you feel what I'm saying? Bunch of shit happens and it pushes you away from your old life and you are getting pushed into a new life. But the reason you were going through all this resistance and the crazy shit, because you were absorbing a new frequency of energy and you have to get attuned to that energy. I give an example. It's like when you first put your braces on, Everybody say when they first put their braces on, that shit be hurting and sore for like a couple weeks, you feel what I'm saying? But after those couple weeks, the shit it stop hurting and being sore. And after you take your braces off, you got new teeth, you see what I'm saying? That's what happens. You start going through shit and the shit gets uncomfortable and shit. You go through a lot of shit, but this is only tearing you down so you can bounce up, you feel what I'm saying? It's like a ball. When you drop the ball and the ball bounces up high as fuck, that's what's gonna happen. But you are not a ball though. So what you are doing is being brought all the way down. So you can build a new reality. Only way to go up from being down, only way to go from being down is up. So if the only way from being down is up, then you are finna go up. And while going up, you have the chance to create a new reality because you was up here, you feel what I'm saying? You was up here and you was mingling in this reality. But you was brought down, you feel what I'm saying? And then now, when you go back up here, it's gonna be some different shit. I meant to give y'all the example, but you was up here and then you went down, and you feel what I'm saying? And then when you go back up here, there's gonna be some new shit. So with that being said, bro, be patient with this shit. Don't hurt yourself. Don't do none of that shit. Don't motherfucking try to attach the things that you did to you, because the things that you did are not you. It's how you handle those things. You may have fucked up, you feel what I'm saying? You may have did some shit that was fucked up that you didn't mean to do, but that's part of life. We do things out of different reasons at times, you feel what I'm saying? If it wasn't meant to happen, it would never happen, you feel what I'm saying? So with that being said, if there's some bullshit going on, it's meant to happen. Take the lesson from that shit and go forward. It don't even fucking matter. Do what you gotta do, bro. Uphold yourself, uplift yourself, do whatever you gotta do during the moment. And all the stuff you did, you can motherfucking apologize for that, be open with that, you straighten all that shit out and go forward, go up to the top, work on building shit better, you feel what I'm saying? Work on love, you feel what I'm saying? You gotta access love. Once you access love, all this shit will start healing itself and be better, you feel what I'm saying? Speaking of that, I'm finna take my own advice and start working with everything from love. If the shit doesn't represent love when I'm doing it, I'm not finna do it. Peace to y'all. Hope this video helped y'all. Love y'all. She got my man. Peace.
Wow. Oh my God. What a beautiful human being. Beautiful soul. I have nothing to add to that. Like, that was spot on. And what a beautiful young man. To be so young and so knowledgeable and able to speak about those things in a way that people, can relate to. I love that. I can't imagine being so young and being so aware. Like, that is awesome. That is very powerful. And I'm so happy to be able to watch that. But yeah, that is so beautiful. I like that. My cat is here. She always trolls me when I'm in my booth. The way that he speaks is in a way that youth like him, who may have gone a different direction, they will be able to hear him speak and feel what he's saying. Like, that is truly a gift. I actually enjoy the use of the slang terms and such myself. He's going to change a lot of lives. He's going to help a lot of people, and he's going to be such a beacon. He already is such a beacon, and he's going to go on to be a brighter beacon, I believe. What a sweet person.
I'm going to say this again because I ain't heard nobody say it in a while. People only understand from what they perceive, okay? Nobody ain't gonna know how you know. How you know your success, how you know your success, you feel me? How you know yourself. Nobody ain't gonna know you or know your success how you know. As long as you know, that's the only fucking person's opinion who should matter, right? Because everybody is an extension of you anyway, right? They're reflecting you in some type of way, some type of form, you feel me? So as long as you know, that's all that matters, right? As long as you know.
That's so true. This is a good one. I think we've had a pretty good run this time. I think I generally agree with most of these TikToks so far. Yeah, it's really nice to see people so young being so aware of all these things. Like, I didn't become aware until like almost 30. Of course, I spent like 10 years of my life numbing as an alcoholic, disconnected from everything, But yeah, after 30 is when I started to realize a lot of these things that they are learning super young, and it's so beautiful. I hope they continue to speak and share with their peers, because there's nothing like a good waking up in the neighborhood.
Peace to all the gods and goddesses and the high vibrational human beings, We in a time right now where we need to be focused on healing. That's the main important one. Shadow work and self-love.
Hmm.
Okay? I started my healing journey, my healing shadow work and self-love journey in August. August was when I first decided to start trying to dig into my shadow side and forgive my shadow for everything that it's done. It's also around the time where I started to wanting to heal. You mean? Because I've heard about, like, I've heard a lot of people, a lot of gods and goddesses talk about the healing journey. And you mean it wasn't like when I first started it, like when I first started my journey, when I first started my spirituality, when I first was awakened to the truth, it was a lot of information and stuff that I wanted to take in, a lot of information. And one of those topics or things was healing, you mean, and shadow work. At the time, no, I didn't work on healing. I didn't work on shadow work. I didn't work on self-love. But that's because that was just the point I was in my journey, you mean? So, right now, healing, shadow work, and self-love is critical. It's critical for the times that we're in. Everybody talking about the shift this, the shift that. The shift already happened and it's still happening. This is why we tell you to raise your vibrations. You mean? Focus on healing, self-love, shadow work. You mean? Because all of that is going to help your body, I should say, help your avatar go more smoothly through this shift. Okay? Now, a lot of things that's taking place right now is because a lot of us aren't healed. A lot of us aren't focusing on self-love. We worried about what the next person doing and how they doing it. You mean? So that's why all of this is taking place, so that we can get back to who we are. You mean? That's why a lot of us talk about healing, self-love, and shadow work. Peace, gods and goddesses.
Absolutely true. And I would just like to give it a little bit more perspective here, what he's saying. When I talk about like people who have narcissistic patterns of behavior, going on to, see someone who has light and want to go around the back door and exploit them, finding their weakness and exploiting them, as well as being a person who doesn't know who you are and is highly exploitable. If we put that on a bigger scale, what he's saying is essentially the same thing. As we heal as an individual, we are able to navigate situations in the world from a healed place and not like a fearful place. And right now, there is a lot of dark energy above us, unfortunately. And I feel that it's going to get dark. It is already dark. It may not be in your backyard, but it is very dark for a lot of people on this planet, and it's getting darker. I feel that it is so important to go on these healing journeys and self-love journeys and learning your own strength as we enter these situations, because then we are less likely to make decisions from a place of fear when it comes down to it. If we could all, not all, I guess, if a large amount of us can heal in that manner, we are less likely to stand for shit from those dark places above that want to shit on us. It is essential. I think there's still a chance to go forward in a healthy way if more of us wake up to that. The more we realize that within us is God and the power to bring those dark energies down, the better off we will be moving forward as this world resets, essentially. It's going to reset regardless. It is already reset, but those dark energies up there that know that have kept us in the dark. They've been preparing for years. Hundreds of years. They already knew. But what they are doing is navigating it in a way that allows them to be on top. While we are fast asleep, doom scrolling Instagram and drinking alcohol on the weekends and working our 9 to 5, like that's the only thing we can possibly be doing. They are making sure that them and theirs are taken care of as this world resets. And unfortunately, they are taking it from the little guy. Those are unhealthy people in those places of power. When you go to the polls and you vote, just know, there are a bunch of other candidates that exist other than the two. And I'm in America. That's what I'm referring to. There are plenty of other people that, want to run and make a difference. But we are subject to media manipulation and extreme rigging. The system is completely rigged. They're all on the same side. When we go there and we vote, we are voting into power people who have the broken piece in their mind to where they do not have empathy. They can fake it and they know we have it. They know our weakness. That's how they get around the back door and can exploit us like sock puppets. Especially, putting us against each other. That's who we're voting to lead us. These are not nice people. You do not make it to the top and become a billionaire by being nice and curing diseases. You get there by learning how to exploit others. It's the only way. It's the only way you become a billionaire. That's the only way to have a $1 billion industry, is to exploit the little guy. And the little guy is none the wiser, unfortunately. So I think as we start to heal and recognize those unhealthy patterns of people around us and understanding, we have every right to not put in our body something that some shady billionaires with a criminal record are demanding we put into our bodies for the greater good and to, show empathy for your fellow man. They don't have that empathy. What they are having you do is solely, purely for their gain. Guaranteed. It is not about you. It is not about grandma. It is not about, little Billy down the street. It is about their gain. And unfortunately, we were fooled. Not all of us, but I'm saying in general, I don't think we passed that test very well. But hopefully, as more people go on that healing journey and go down the road of figuring those things out and understanding how this world actually works, I think we will begin to become better off in that respect.
Can anyone tell me why we're the only creatures on this planet that are completely not living by the laws of nature, but instead by laws made by people that the majority of us don't even know? Why are we doing that again? For some reason, instead of being governed by the laws that every other species is, we're governed by the ideologies of men whose main goal is to profit as much as they can.
She's saying the exact same thing.
We are literally living by the rules of the Monopoly Man. I don't know, it just seems a little whack if you ask me. So, I'm gonna go forget about that for a while by looking at rocks and playing with seagulls. Bye. Meep. Meep. Meep.
That's exactly what I just said. That's all. So, yeah, I'll leave you with that. This was a pretty good run. I don't think this is the wild side of spiritual TikTok at all. I think this is the very healthy side. So, take from that what you will. I hope it gives you something to take with you on your journey. Hopefully, if you are not on a journey of healing, that you consider taking that journey. It's okay to take that time to heal. And it's so important going forward. Not just for you, but also for our collective of awakening beings who have been held hostage and exploited by those darker forces up above that we have thought for a very long time were on our side, but they are not. They are not. They are on their own side. They work together. They have their networks. They hide information. They hide knowledge to where we are literally living 80-year lifespans without connecting the dots of the hundreds of years that they are functioning on. So I'll leave you with that. Thank you so much for watching again. Video number 2. I think we're going to also dive into some other topics on TikTok, not just spiritual TikTok, because I like the idea of having conversations about these things that are being thrown at us as we doom scroll. You know, it's like we're doing something unhealthy and absorbing healthy information, but unfortunately, that healthy information is mixed in with not healthy information and blah, 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 blah. We're going to talk about them. So go ahead and follow if you like what you've seen so far. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you, those who have followed along already. I appreciate it. Have the discussions, and I will see you again in video number 3.